Welcome to Investors Insights, episode number 148. Today we will be discussing what-ifs to your portfolio and the impact from the markets. Janet Yellen comments this week, price of oil, and the list goes on. So let's jump right in. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So good meeting earlier this morning. So we've got a lot of what-ifs out there, and we could spend the whole vlog just with all the what-ifs, right?
Yes.
So I think there's a couple of things happening this week, though, that we need to be aware of. So, Bobby, why don't you bring it up first here?
Yeah, so on Friday, the jobs report came out pretty strong. 151,000 jobs were created. Expectations were 190,000, but it's still strong. 2 points I want to make from this job report that are strength is, one, participation rate increased, and then wages. Wages have been stagnant for years now.
Right.
And we finally got our first tick up in wages. And so that's very important, showing our economy's on a strong foundation.
Right. Yeah. And Trey, you had to that.
Yeah.
You had something earlier.
So what that also, why that's so important is that the wage growth is what the Fed is watching closely. And that's why
to determine if we're going to have more rate increases, correct?
And so they view that. They view wage inflation as negative, and we've seen good news be bad news for the last few reports. And that we saw the market sell off greatly on Friday because perceived Fed action because of that strong wage growth. So that impacted the portfolios.
Right.
And with Janet Yellen speaking this week, we could see more market action just based on perception of her words.
Yeah. Well, and again, going back to the phrase "what if," that we've got the fundamentals of the market, we got the technicals of the market, and then all of a sudden, what if Janet Yellen and the Fed decide not to be as hawkish,
right?
Or they decide to be dovish. In other words, will they raise rates, or will they say, you know what, we're probably going to hold off right now? So that can be a big what if into portfolio strategies. And actually, you had some points earlier this morning about the dollar. Talk a little bit about that.
We've told you in the vlog before the struggle that large companies, mainly multinationals, are having with a strong U.S. dollar because their products are not as competitive overseas, and that's a lot of the pressure we've seen. We may have gotten a little bit of a break in that. We noticed last week because on Wednesday and Thursday, the U.S. dollar index fell for the first time in a long time, but more significantly, the most it's fallen in about a 7-year period. So maybe these headwinds we've been struggling with some of these large international companies that you know and watch, maybe we're getting ready to get a little relief from that. We hope so.
So, in other words, will the Fed raise rates? Will they hold rates? Will they possibly reverse and say later this year they might bring down rates? That's a big debate going on. The dollar's another big debate. And then, of course, the price of oil, which we're still sticking to our prediction. We think it could go on below $30 and closer to $20 and stay there for a little while before we have a rebound back up. All of that impacts corporate America and also the consumer. Once the consumer goes, I've got confidence, I'm paying less at the gas pump, we could start seeing the consumer spend more money. But right now, they're hanging on to their money, paying off debt and savings. Agreed on that?
Agreed. Yeah.
So a lot of factors going on out there. We're watching it very closely. We've mentioned to you in our vlogs that we're very concerned this is a bear market. We're sticking to that at this point, and we're going to keep you updated as we move forward. And if you like what we have to say, please let us know it. We love to hear from you. And if you don't like what we have to say, we still like to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we hope you have a great week.
You're listening to Investors Insights with President and CEO Greg Powell and the Portfolio Strategy Team at Five Plan Partners. More information at fiplanpartners.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.